So a Fox News alert, 8 people are injured after a man yelling, "Free Palestine," attacked a rally for Israeli hostages with a makeshift flamethrower. The suspect, an Egyptian national who was in the U.S. illegally after overstaying his visa, has been charged with at least 8 felony charges, including first-degree murder, although police have not yet confirmed that anyone was killed. Fox News contributor Katie Pavlis joins us now with a reaction. Katie, a line needs to be drawn, right? The Jews are afraid, and the criminals seem to be empowered on the streets today.
Everyone should be afraid. This is a case of Americans, citizens, in a United States city being firebombed by an illegal alien from Egypt who has Islamic terrorism ties and ideology, exercising their First Amendment rights, out for a walk, saying we don't think that innocent people should be taken hostage and they should be released from the Gaza Strip. And this is what we've seen over the course of the past couple of months. We've seen attack after attack after attack. And what is this fueled by? First, it's fueled by an American media, which has been lying and spreading falsehoods about Israel's defensive war against this death cult in Gaza and elsewhere in the Middle East. And also it's fueled by Democrats like the Biden administration who let in people who are anti-American, who don't share our values, and who think the way to settle scores with people you disagree with is to try and murder them. And that's what we saw yesterday. That's what we saw in Washington, D.C., the capital city, where 2 staffers from the Israeli embassy, one a Christian from Germany and an American citizen, were gunned down in the streets by someone who thinks that this Free Palestine ideology is something that they're willing to take people's lives over. This is anti-American. It has to stop. And it vindicates the Trump administration when they say we're stripping visas from people who engage in this kind of ideology, who think that this is the way that you settle scores in this country. That's not what we do here. And they're trying to get them out. And you saw Stephen Miller, who, of course, is the deputy chief of staff, a presidential advisor, yesterday saying the suicidal importing of this kind of ideology is going to stop.
Katie, I feel like we're missing the big picture, though, as an American people. And you're right. It's not just the Jews that are being targeted. It's Americans as well. The ideology that they proclaim is not compatible with our American Judeo-Christian values here. You can be a peaceful Muslim, but you cannot be an Islamist. You can't call for an intifada. And people think they're just chants. They're not just chants. They have meaning behind them. Why is that important for people to understand?
Well, I'm not really sure where people expect this movement to go, given where it's been over the course of the past 2 years, almost, year and a half, after the October 7th attacks, when Americans were murdered, where Americans were held hostage, where this ideology has spread on college campuses in the United States of America, this type of terrorism justified by the elites in this country, the mealy-mouthed response of the previous administration to this type of ideology, which is now playing out in the taking of lives and the attempted murder of American cities across the United States. This is something that could have been prevented if it had been condemned. But in lots of different circles, it is something that is not only not condemned, but that is celebrated as a reason to push back against some kind of defensive action against terrorism, and not just in the Gaza Strip, but also in the United States of America. And so the bigger picture is, if you don't think they're coming for you and that this doesn't go somewhere else, you're wrong. I fear it's going to get worse before it gets better. Globalizing the Intifada means killing people wherever they are. And we saw that in the Intifada, and we've been warning about this for months. When you hear these chants on college campuses, I've been to a number of these pro-terrorism, pro-Hamas protests, rallies, riots in Washington, D.C. last summer. They tore down all of the American flags at Union Station across from the United States Capitol, burned them, and hoisted up the same flag that Hamas flies. If you're not paying attention, you better pay attention now, because it could get worse if people aren't willing to stand up and call it for what it is. And it's terrorism, and it's not welcome here in the United States of America.
You're right, Katie. It is going to get worse. It's not if. It is, because they're already here. We allowed them to come. So now we got to deal with the consequences. Thank God we got an administration that's ready to have some type of defensive posture. Thanks, Katie.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.